Hi, my name is Elinor and today I'm going to give you a few key points to remember about running form. And running form really begins with having a healthy, powerful posture. So we're going to review a few key things to remember about your posture when you're standing still. And then running is basically a matter of putting that good posture into motion. So the key thing to remember is that we really want to make gravity work for us instead of against us. Anytime we have a posture that takes us out of alignment, like we're standing with one foot like this, or the hips out of alignment, or anything like that, we're having to use a lot of muscular strength to keep us from falling over. The idea with the power posture is that you're using gravity to hold you up by just stacking each joint one above another. It takes a lot less muscular energy to hold yourself upright when you're in alignment than when you're out of alignment like this. So when we start running, it's easy to lose that alignment, and we have to work extra hard to push ourselves through the running gait to move forward. So what we want to do with natural running form is to practice the proper alignment so that then gravity pulls us forward and we don't have to use our muscles quite as hard to take us through the running gait cycle. So this begins with the foundation of our feet, of course. And so to kind of get a feel for where our center of gravity is, stand with your feet about hip width apart, and then find the balance by rocking a little bit from side to side and front to back until you find that point in the center of your foot where you feel that you're completely on the vertical plane. And so you're not leaning from one side to the other, but you feel balance between both feet and very solid on both feet. And so then from there, we move up into the core. So where are your hips in relation to the center point of your feet? Ideally, they should be straight over your feet, over your arches. And so I'll just turn to the side so you can see. We want to engage the core, and so it's easier to maintain that vertical alignment so you're not leaning forward or back by tilting the pelvis back. So instead of having the belly dumping forward, think about drawing the navel in and the tailbone down, much like Tadasana in yoga, so that you can better engage the whole core. And so that's not just the abdominals, but also the back muscles as well. Because once we start running, we want to make sure that we're fully engaging this posterior chain here. So once we have that core engagement through a gentle pelvic tilt, then we can think about what we're doing with the upper body. With the upper body, we want to make sure that the shoulders are not rounding forward. So bring your shoulders, roll them up towards your ears, and then drop them down from the collarbones. And they should just hang naturally from the shoulder joint. And there shouldn't be any tension at all in the arms. You shouldn't be pulling them back. We don't want to use these muscles to pull the shoulders back. They should just be able to hang very naturally because we want to keep this joint nice and loose. Then your elbows will bend at 90 degrees, and this angle will not change while we're running. We're going to keep that pretty consistent when we run. And the thumbs are pointing up, but the hand relaxed. And then with the chin, you want to keep the chin level, not looking up like this, and not looking down at the ground. If our gaze is down too far in front of us, then we have a tendency to bend forward at the waist. So keeping your chin level and looking out at the trail ahead of you is going to help keep that upper body from collapsing forward. So when we're running, we're going to basically put that posture into motion. And there's a few key things to remember to make sure that we don't lose this alignment. And one of those things is that we want to bend forward from the ankles. Because really, in order to make gravity work for you when you're running, think of running as basically a controlled forward fall. So that means bending forward from the ankles and letting gravity pull you forward as you start running. And maintaining that forward bend from the ankles is going to help drawing you forward and keeping gravity working for you. If you're at all kind of sitting back behind that vertical plane, you're going to have to work a lot harder to run. You're going to overuse the quads potentially and underutilize these powerful muscles in the back side of the body, like the glutes. So also, it's very important to think about stride length. And so what we want ideally is, as we have this forward lean and our center of gravity is slightly ahead of the vertical plane, it's going to make it a lot easier to land with our leading foot not too far ahead of our bodies. If we're taking a long stride and the heel is landing first, then there's going to be a lot of braking action during the gait cycle from here until my weight is over top of that leading foot. So by landing with a slightly shorter stride with the foot closer to the center of gravity, you're going to be more efficient. There's going to be less braking action, and you'll find that you won't tire as quickly. So this is a really key thing to practice, especially on the trails. Just taking a shorter stride, and you can increase your cadence in order to increase speed with this technique. But you'll find it a lot easier too for navigating rough terrain when there's lots of rocks and roots and you have to be really careful of your footing. This shorter stride will let you be more agile on the trail. So next time you're out running, practice these tips, thinking about your posture, your stride length, and your forward lean, and your running will start to feel much easier and more efficient. So have fun out on the trails, and thank you so much.